open this meeting. NJSA 10:4-9 provides that upon the affirmative vote of 3/4 of the members present, a public body may hold a meeting notwithstanding the failure to provide adequate notice if, 1, such meeting is required in order to deal with matters of such urgency and importance that a delay for the purpose of providing adequate notice would be likely to result in substantial harm to the public interest, and 2, the meeting is limited to discussion of and acting with respect to such matters of urgency and importance, and 3, notice of such meeting will be provided as soon as possible following the calling of such meeting by posting written notice of the same in the public place, which here will be the municipal building, and also by notifying our 2 newspapers. And then we've also published it on the website. And 4, the public body could not reasonably have foreseen the need for such a meeting at a time when adequate notice could have been provided. Now, as we have on the agenda, the purpose of the meeting is for discussion and possible action on matters related to COVID-19, which is more commonly known as the coronavirus. The situation is dynamic, I think, as Mr. Cook will tell us from OEM. It's changing moment by moment, so I don't believe that in this case there could have been a reasonably foreseeable way to provide notice. So with that, I'd like to take a vote of the governing body to hold a meeting, notwithstanding our inability to provide adequate notice, and then we can proceed.
Roll call, Mr. Bonovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell is not here.
She's not present.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Are we ready?
Yes.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, March 16th at 3:06 p.m. for discussion of COVID-19. Roll call, please.
I'll read an opening statement.
And roll.
Let the minutes reflect that this special emergency meeting of the Howell Township Council is required in order to deal with matters of such urgency and importance that a delay for the purpose of providing adequate notice would be likely to result in substantial harm to the public interest. This meeting shall be limited to discussion of and acting with respect to such matters of urgency and importance. Notice of such meeting will be provided by posting written notice of the same in the Howell Township Municipal Building located at 4567 Route 9 North on the Township website, and by notifying the newspapers appointed by the governing body during reorganization as the official newspapers for the receipt of such notices. And the public body could not reasonably have foreseen the need for such meeting at a time when adequate notice could have been provided, given the numerous and frequent response to the coronavirus pandemic at the international, federal, and state levels. Pursuant to NJSA 10:4-9B1, the Township of Howell may not hear, deliberate on, or decide any matters not listed on the agenda below. Formal action may be taken. We already have, I'll do attendance again, I guess.
No, we have.
Or we know who's, okay. So do we just need to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
We're not going to redo the roll? Are we going to redo the roll call?
We can redo it, I mean, with.
Okay. For attendance, Mr. Bonovich?
Present.
Ms. Richmond?
Present.
Mr. Russo?
Here.
Deputy Mayor O'Donnell is not here. Mayor Berger?
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have any reports? Appropriate?
Good afternoon, Mayor. I was asked to try and organize this meeting last minute today just to provide the governing body an update with regards to the COVID-19 disease. As you're aware, Mayor, you were present for a meeting last week that we held. We've been very involved, myself, OEM, our partnership with schools. The fact that we're working in the same building as us now has made communication a lot much easier. In addition, we've tried to show a unified message for the taxpayers as well as the school children and the parents alike. So, we've been sharing messages with an email group that involves the governing body. I'm sure you've all seen a lot of those emails already. As you're aware, this is a rapidly evolving situation with things changing by the hour. Currently, here in Howell, we've closed the municipal building for public access. We are still operating, encouraging people to use our website, phone system, email, things like that. We have had an adjustment period as we've still had some people, residents trying to come to the building today to conduct business. We've printed flyers with our website and mailing address, instructions for the drop box to leave payments out back.
I have one question. Someone asked me, and I didn't know the answer. Are you going to allow people to leave cash in the Dropbox?
We prefer that they not leave cash.
So I think maybe we should make it a point to say that no cash will be accepted.
Okay, I believe that is written on the box
Okay.
itself. However, we have instructed our tax collector's office, they are checking it almost hourly now. So in the event there is some cash left, it will be picked up pretty quickly. I have here Victor Cook, who is our OEM coordinator, and I also asked Mr. Sanasak, our partner in the school, to come up if they want to give a quick update as to their situation or any information they may have.
Which one would you
Can
like?
I- Well, if you don't mind, I have a few things going on downstairs. So
Sure.
If I could go first, that'd be great. The coincidence of us being in the same building allowed me to run right up, and that was brand new for us. We have, as of today, stopped bringing children into the buildings, and I say it specifically that way because our buildings are not closed per se, although we are asking for limited traffic. But in case a child forgot something or needs a tech to look at their computer, we did send all the machines home with the 3rd through 5th grade students, so now our 3rd through 8th have their devices at home. We are implementing our remote learning plan effective tomorrow, so tomorrow will be counted as a school day. Along with that, the commissioner and governor asked us to make sure that we could still service those children who are eligible for free and reduced lunch. We have a plan that Mr. Cook has the skeleton of. We're still waiting to see exactly how many get fed at each of or get provided the grab-and-go meal. They're not feeding there at each location. There are 4 spots through the town that will be arranged for pickup. A robocall went out on Sunday, and another one will go out this afternoon, telling them how the process will work. Our staff is all working through the closing of the, Governor Murphy did announce today that effective as of Wednesday, all schools in the state will be closed. The remote learning plan has been tested. The teachers were all on some kind of either Zoom or those kind of remote meetings through the day today, making sure that their technology works so that they can service the students tomorrow. The pre-K through 2 students are being provided. We work through the teacher website directly. They were all sent home Friday with packets for the 2 weeks. There is a potential rumor out there that the governor will be closing us longer than that as this progresses. We are preparing for that as well. We are open for business downstairs, although through the request of the manager, we're trying to limit that. The one thing we're working on is student registration because we still have the obligation to register students, so we'll figure that out as we go along. I don't think it's that many people, and I think by appointment, we'll let them through the gauntlet downstairs. We will have a meeting Wednesday under kind of the same conditions you're having them here, and we will put our tentative budget in on time, which is due this week. And any questions, I'd be more than happy to address if I left anything out. I think that's the thumbnail sketch of where we're at.
No, I appreciate it very much. I mean, you guys really pulled it off quickly. So that was amazing.
We live in a great town with great people, so we have a good team.
Ron, so you said as of tomorrow, remote learning will start, it's a school day. Will there be staff in the schools as well, or?
So yes, the administrative staff and their support secretaries and clerks are reporting. We are running kind of a flip-flop day to try to make sure, kind of like in the corporate world when nobody flies together on the same plane, to make sure that the team doesn't get sick together. But there will be staff, and the teachers can avail themselves of their room if they wish to come in, if they'd rather do it from their room, which I'm sure someone would be more comfortable there, because we would still, even if all the teachers showed up, we'd still be under the suggested social distancing and occupancies. So I think a small group will come in and work from their room, and the rest, from their bedroom, from wherever, I don't know, where they have a home office or whatever.
And how many of your students have access to the internet or computer or
Every single one.
everyone?
Well, in 3rd through 8th.
Well, 3rd through 8, you sent them home.
Ms. Engel, our Director of IT and Innovative Technology, has secured through Altice or Optimum Online, they are making Wi-Fi available for every student in Howell if they need it. So now it's out on the pole, so they may have to do it from their living room or some, indirect, anyway, there is Wi-Fi. There's Wi-Fi available for every student in Howell.
What about your K through 2?
The K through 2 are not dependent on the Wi-Fi because they have those packets, but yes, it's available to them as well.
The reason I asked you about K through 2, because I had a friend who kid wasn't in Friday, and she was working, and she couldn't get to the school. They said you had to be there by 1:30 to pick up the packet.
So we are addressing, there's a few, and we'll
Okay.
be either delivering or someone will be at the school for them to pick it up. Each of the buildings are dealing with those little odd circumstances directly, not through central admin.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
From what I understand, this is all available through the Optimum Wi-Fi when you open up the student's laptop, correct?
Yes, and again,
I was like, where'd that come
confused there
from?
for a minute where the voice is coming from. They can use their home Wi-Fi, or if they it's not strong enough, if they're trying through their phone or something, they can use the Optimum/Altice. I don't know what name it's under.
I'm just reading the email that just went out. Optimum Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, I
at the
got the
top,
call
that's
when I
why.
was sitting here. I had to silence it. Yeah, and a robocall went out for that as well.
Okay, great. Hey, Brian, can we get that on our website right away as well?
Sure.
I'll forward it to you.
And Ron, the free and reduced lunch for the kids that are eligible, they have to show an ID. They come to those certain spots, and it'll be continuous through whenever?
Yes.
Okay.
We are not, because some people can't get there, I don't believe we'll be very strict on the ID. If they have the name and the ID number, we're handing out the lunches.
And we put that out.
That's why I kind of hesitated a minute. Yes,
That's okay.
ID. Are we on TV right now?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not being broadcast live, but it will be.
The ID is
Republished.
required.
The ID is required, and we have this on our website as well, about the free and reduced lunch being offered?
Was that in any of the letters that you had sent me yet?
I just gave it to Mr. Cook about 10 minutes before we walked up here, so.
Okay.
It will get published.
Just,
The reason that we haven't posted it yet is that we are still working on what school each student goes to.
Okay.
So I don't have that final list, but when I do, I'll forward it to Mr. Cook. It's going out by 4 o'clock today in a robocall.
Excellent.
and any information you want us to put on our website as
Yes,
well.
and we had that conversation. We've shared some things already, so.
Great. Thank you.
And vice versa on our robocall and system.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm good. Thank you,
I'm
Mrs.
good.
Sampson.
Thank you. Stay
Thank
healthy.
you all.
Stay well.
Thanks.
Come down and visit our.
Thank you.
no.
Just not right now.
Exactly. Thank you.
Mr. Cook?
Next, Victor Cook is our OEM coordinator, who we're having hourly calls, it seems.
Every half-hourly calls. Good afternoon.
Hi.
When this first hit us, the COVID-19 virus, again, it's a novel virus because we don't know much about it. Panic set in last week sometime about, I don't know when it did, but panic set into the residents and.
I think it's when they called it a pandemic.
Yes. So now, Howell Township as a whole in Office of Emergency Management, we had a lot of the personal protective equipment for our first responders on hand already. So those were given out right away when we found out there was the, this possibility of a pandemic coming to protect our first responders, which myself and my deputies have outfitted all EMS, fire, and police responders to handle any calls that are coming in now for flu-like symptoms. So we have that tied down. Then when we found out about the public the public concern about all of this, we actually set up Nixle, which is our Everbridge Nixle emergency notification for the residents. That's been up and running since, I think, Thursday or Friday. It's up and running. When we first activated it and we sent out the email blast, we had over 1,000 people sign up with that first morning. So people are very concerned about what's going on. We send out information as we get it and as warranted. Again, it's a fluid situation, so we are not getting, we're not getting on time. Some of it's delayed. It's not, hey, this person has it, now it's delayed because now it was a presumptive case of corona. You might be presumed to have it. I honestly think the state did away with that now. So now you either have the virus or you don't have it. Again, we're trying to get that notification more timely back to us.
So can I ask you, when you say have the virus or don't have it, does that mean they test positive and they just test positive for corona, or they are actively ill?
Well, they test for different types of things. A flu test is one, pneumonia test, and then they give you the COVID-19 test if the two prior ones come back negative.
Okay.
If you got a positive for the COVID-19, they used to say last week it was presumptive that you had it, awaiting the CDC's determination in Atlanta. I think they changed that protocol to yes, you are positive now for COVID-19, or no, you do not have COVID-19. I do believe that just came out. Either you have it or you don't have it.
And is that because the tests, there's different testing, or how are they going from presumptuous to without the CDC confirming?
Again, that was something that's.
You don't know how,
I don't know how that happened. We just get filtered down either yes or no. I don't know what their parameters are to say yes or no. That's something of the health department came out with. Again, we've been closely monitoring this, and right now, the information that I received back, again, for the township of Howell, we have no presumptive or positive cases of COVID-19 within our township. Again, that could change as warranted, but right now it is 0 residents that are infected with this virus. Again, I've been ordering supplies as warranted. We are depleting some of our inventory, which we do have recommendations up to E-Team that this is what we need. E-Teams is the state-run inventory, so everything that we push up through the county to the state comes back down to us for equipment. We do have that equipment on order to protect the first responders. Again, it's everybody wants this equipment in the state, and there's only so much around, as you know, to filter back down to the townships. So we're working our best to get that.
I also heard that the CDC changed the parameters for usage of their equipment.
They did. You can actually use the N95 mask 5 times reusable, but again,
Depending upon how it's taken off and put
depending
on.
upon how it's donned and doffed, I mean, if I'm trained and I know exactly how to use this stuff, and I take it off properly, put it back on, and I know I properly, deconned myself, I'm good to go. But if you don't do it and you're not experienced in doing that every single day, I've been recommended to our first responders, one use only, we'll replace it. I mean, that's what I've been telling them.
Okay.
And are you training people, like, is there a task team? Is there, how many people and who are they, and
Well, we've been trying to put that together right now, because we have separate, a lot of entities involved, the fire, EMS, police. We're trying to keep up on top of that. However, they are all trained in their separate disciplines on how to do this stuff. We can refresh them and trying to teach them again how to do it as a refresher. But right now, to ride on the fire engine, EMS, or police, they have training in how to put this stuff on and off. We've been out, we're talking to the fire chiefs, the EMTs, and the police liaison. I just had a meeting with them at 1 o'clock to go over certain things we were doing here in the township. I have another meeting with them on Thursday at 1 o'clock. I want to try to hold meetings twice a week with them to see what their needs are and how many calls of service we're getting. And like I said, we've been trying to do our best with what we have right now.
Well, I will say, I was on the call on Saturday. You're very well prepared.
Thank you. We try to be.
Amazing.
Summarize a few things locally that we're dealing with. As of right now, we've canceled all of our board and committee meetings. Planning and zoning are being treated a little bit differently, where the secretary for the boards are reaching out to speak to all the applicants to talk about rescheduling. So those will most likely be canceled they aren't as of right now. Another thing, we urge the public to only use 911 for an emergency. A lot of times people are, because they're concerned and it's the unknown, they have flu-type symptoms, they're calling 911 for this. It's overwhelming our resources as well as the medical facilities. So we are urging people, if they just have flu-type symptoms or if they have questions about the disease, to contact a personal physician and seek guidance that way. We're trying to navigate a method now of how we're dealing with our building inspectors, fire inspectors, code officers that go out into the field and occasionally will be going into people's homes. As of right now, they've all been equipped with personal protective equipment through OEM that they can use if they feel unsafe. We've directed them to ask questions, before going in someone's house, or if they see anything or a situation they're uncomfortable with, they can opt to not do the inspection, and we'll make arrangements later on to deal with that. As far as operations here in Town Hall, as Mr. Sanisak briefly touched on, we do still need to conduct business, so although we are closed to public access right now, we're probably going to be rolling out a program of by appointment only. As he mentioned, he has school registrations to deal with. We also have certain business that does need to be done in person, namely our registrar function, certain building permits, things like that, where if we switch to an appointment-only system, at least we have the ability to track who's coming and going. Additionally, we'll be sending out a robocall. We'll be setting up a number here at Town Hall for people that may not have access to the internet. As it's been mentioned a few times, we've been trying to push a lot of information out through social media and through our website. We are going to put a lot of that information just on a voice message at a certain extension here at Town Hall. We'll be blasting that message out to everybody. For those that may not have access to the internet, they'll be able to call in and get these updates as well. So that's being worked on at this point.
Brian,
Sure.
can we put that information on our channel, whichever channel it is we have our meetings on?
Yes.
We can put that information out there?
Yep.
So, Brian, I had a couple of people, one person talked about the clerk's office as far as marriage, licensing, and stuff like that. That will be all through appointment, correct?
Yes, as soon as we come up with a plan. I know they did have a few people today that already had scheduled appointments previous to Town Hall being closed, but that's the registrar function that I was referring to, that marriage licenses are one of the more critical things that we have to be able to do in a timely manner. So that will be coming.
Is there any word on, I'm sure people are turning in petitions, the deadline's March 30th for the primary, is that being pushed back? Any word on that?
We have had no information from that. The clerk has been in contact with the county clerk. They just sent out an email an hour or two ago that we just got. However, there was no direction given on as far as the petitions being due.
So as of right now, that would be, if they have a petition, that would be also an appointment with the clerk, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Again, we haven't solidified that plan yet, but it will be hopefully rolled out within the next day or so.
Okay. And we'll post that and send that out with a robocall, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I had was the governor did a briefing this morning in conjunction with some other states and spoke about several requirements that he was putting out. I'd like to go through these. It's a little bit lengthy. I will say we haven't gotten it officially.
We have gotten it.
Oh, we have? Did it just come through?
Executive Order number 104.
Okay. I had not even gotten it yet.
I just got it.
Oh, okay. I knew he was in a press conference when we were starting the meeting, so I was expecting as soon as that was over.
8 p.m. curfew.
Okay. But just to put these on the record, I'd like to go
Yeah,
through them.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
in case anybody watches this.
In case, we're hoping everybody
well-
watches this, Brian.
He's ordering the closure of all pre-K, K through 12, colleges and universities beginning 3/18. Closure of all casinos, racetracks, theaters, and gyms. Closure of all non-essential retail, recreational, and entertainment businesses after 8 p.m. today. Banning gatherings of 50 people or more. All bars or restaurants are closed for eat-in services effective 8 p.m. tonight. After 8 p.m., these establishments may open for takeout and delivery services only until further notice. These restrictions exist during daytime hours.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it legal to deliver a cocktail?
I do not believe so.
So then how could they be doing it?
Well, actually, delivering a cocktail, probably not, but
Delivering a bottle of wine, yes.
yeah,
But
that-
I don't know, it's just a question.
pre-made, I would venture to doubt that. So,
It's interesting, right? But they're saying that you could order out cocktails.
that might be one of those loopholes that they didn't realize.
Oh, boy. Sorry, everybody.
It's an Irish Murphy thing.
Yeah, especially in light of the holiday tomorrow.
Oh, maybe that's why.
All pre-K through 12, pre-K through grade 12 schools, public, private, and parochial, and all colleges and universities will close effective Wednesday, March 18, till it's deemed by health officials to be safe for in-person class to resume. Starting tonight, all non-essential and non-emergency travel in New Jersey is strongly discouraged between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. This will remain in effect for the foreseeable future. We want everyone to be home and not out. Essential businesses which are necessary for the public's health, safety, and welfare, like supermarkets, grocery stores, pharmacies, medical offices, and gas stations, may remain open past 8 p.m. Effective 8 p.m. tonight, all movie theaters, gyms, casinos, racetracks will close entirely until it is deemed safe for their reopening. Online gambling will continue.
Thank the Lord.
Effective tonight, all other essential,
Amazing.
or rather, let me start over. Effective tonight, all other non-essential retail, recreational, and entertainment businesses must close after 8 p.m. During daytime hours, these businesses may remain open if they limit their occupancy to no more than 50 persons and adhere to social distancing guidelines. All gatherings of over 50 individuals are canceled effective 8 p.m. tonight. And that's a summary of what I had that the governor had stated this morning.
And they solidified it,
Yes.
so.
So, and that is
Could we
about all
also
I have.
add that to the website? So if somebody didn't hear all of the criterion,
Yes.
they could read that?
Certainly will.
Thank you.
As I said, this is rapidly changing. You know, plans that we're putting in place are being modified before we even get them out. We do have a draft of a state of emergency for a local state of emergency. Now that this information is out from the governor, we'll probably modify that. We haven't signed it as of yet, but we probably will be in the near future.
Mayor, I have a couple things.
Please.
Actually, this may be for Mr. Cook. As far as resources being deployed for our seniors who may be shut in, is there a plan to deal with a senior population with regard to somebody who can't get out of their home?
Well, I spoke to Brandywine, our assisted living facility up on Route 9, as well as Crossroads, and they put into place sheltering in place last week, so they haven't been out on any functions or any trips, and from what I understand, nothing for the foreseeable future of that. Friendship Gardens, I'm waiting for a call back to meet with them. The Villages, the same thing, I got to meet with their management personnel, and Sorry Downs also. Again, they're independent of Brandywine and Crossroads. So I'm going to work closely with those individuals there at the Villages, Sorry Downs, and Friendship Gardens to see what they need, what their needs are, and see if we can, tighten it up a little bit and make sure that they're well kept informed and get whatever they need.
Excellent. Appreciate
So
that.
would this be a place, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Mayor.
Would this be a place to say that, to say it from right here, if somebody is from, which are the three?
Well, Brandywine and Crossroads are
They're,
They're
you
separate.
have them. So
You
the
have-
three that you need to talk to,
the Villages,
the Villages.
Surrey Downs,
Surrey Downs.
Friendship Gardens.
And Friendship Gardens. So if anybody out there can contact Victor Cook, please contact him. He's trying to get in touch with you so we could work out a plan.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, Tommy, so the senior center, I had called Brian over the weekend, right, and I asked about Melanie, because I have people want to reach out, they're concerned, they want to know how they can help our seniors. And I know that Melanie is working with her drivers with Meals on Wheels to get meals to the people who can't come to the senior center. So, but does that extend outside the people who come to our senior center? How's that working? Did you actually get to speak to her in detail about the Meals on Wheels and?
The Meals on Wheels program is run outside
Separate,
of the
right,
township. I know they were having some difficulty with their volunteers, so since we had some staffing that was now available, Melanie was assigning them to assist with their deliveries. I don't believe it extends outside of anybody, to anybody outside of their program.
Right. Okay, well, maybe we need to do something a little bit outside that realm. I mean, of our seniors, as some people don't know, I mean, they're seniors, they don't have a lot of social media access, they're used to coming to our senior center and getting all their information.
No, those seniors Melanie has reached out to and is in communication
Okay.
with.
Okay, good.
I have two more items, Mayor. Hospitals, have we been in contact with with Central State and Monmouth South and Lakewood?
The hospitals, they report right to the county health department, and then what other private, whatever health department is assigned to that individual town. Our health officer is the county, so as we're sending people up to Center State, Kimball, Jersey Shore, if they are getting tests for this or any information comes back, it gets filtered through the county health department, and then it comes back to me as the point of contact. And like I said, so far, we have had 0 positives in Howell.
Okay.
But again,
Great.
for the hospitals directly contacting me or contacting somebody within the townships, no.
Okay. And this is for Brian. Brian, have we reached out to the Chamber of Commerce and did we speak to them about how the town can help the businesses that are most likely going to be impacted?
Not as of yet. I know they canceled any future meetings, but as I said, this is rapidly evolving. This just came out, a short while ago, so.
Can we set up an emergency meeting on the phone with
I'll
somebody from
reach
the
out to
chamber?
them. Sure.
That'd be great.
And how often are you in contact with the county? Continuously?
I just spoke with them at 10:30 this morning.
Who's them? I'm sorry.
Mike Obengard, he's the county OEM coordinator.
Okay,
So I was up in his office this morning picking up personal protective equipment, and we had a conversation, and he had no immediate, updates for me, so.
okay. And you're meeting with him daily, hourly?
As he calls the meetings. Like
Okay.
I asked him that this morning. He said he doesn't plan on having another meeting till possibly Wednesday morning. If it warranted, maybe he'll have another meeting today or tomorrow, but at least not until Wednesday.
In regards to the county or the state, Vic, has they provided you with anything, I guess, any paper, flyers or anything for social distancing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. No, they have not
Yeah,
provided.
social distancing, like guidelines to post from the county or from the state. Is there something simple we could post or something we can link out with Nixle, or you think that's not important?
I believe that's covered under the CDC website that we've been referencing in a lot of our materials, and we have posted to our website.
Yeah, I'm only bringing it up because I'm reading Executive Order 104, and it says after 8 p.m., anyone that's open has to abide by the social distancing guidelines. So I don't know if that's something we have to put on our site separately.
As I said, I have not even seen that, as it just hit the email since the meeting started. We'll review
Yeah,
it.
it says after 8 p.m. The only way they could be open is if they abide by that.
Right, so I guess you could put it out there. The issue is, though, you have to go out and enforce that, is what. So, I think that the restaurants right now, they're pretty empty.
Right.
Sadly.
So I think people are really heeding the warning. So I hear what you're saying, John, but I think that it's all covered under the same guidelines. It's always the same. Social distancing has not changed. So it's still in those
Yeah,
guidelines.
I'm just reading the order. I'm going
Oh, yeah,
straight to
yeah.
it. So.
What is, if they're just saying, who's going out and monitoring all this that's happening as far as, I'm just putting.
Yeah, good question. At
Thank
8
you, John.
p.m., how are we addressing this?
I mean-
State, is it us? Is it our PD? Is it our code officials? How is this being addressed after 8 o'clock?
Once again, I have
It
not even
just
gotten the
came
order
out.
yet,
Right,
so
okay, give this guy a
I can't
shot.
even come up with a plan yet.
Let him read
it.
it out there for something that, I think.
I mean, I'm sure there was nothing planned for, they put these orders out with no thought as to how it's actually going to be enforced.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's-
now
a lot of
there's
it's
us, so.
Well,
common
that
sense
falls on
thinking and-
you. They make that fall on you to operationalize.
So,
Right.
It's most likely going to be our police department. I have not even spoken to the chief yet, so.
I do have a question, and I don't even know if it's appropriate, but the budget, I mean, where does this all fall in as far as our budget? I mean, we haven't passed one, so,
We're still operating normally as of right now.
okay,
We really haven't incurred any great expenses. We have modified some of our purchasing with different materials, cleaning materials, things like that. I do have various departments tracking both hours and supplies purchased that should funding come available down the road, at least we have that information tracked already.
and
which is-
overtime?
Any overtime would be tracked through that, yeah, as long as it's related to the disease. But that's a normal function that we deal with, usually through OEM, similar to a major snowstorm or a hurricane. We would track those expenses the same way. They're not going to fund us for normal operations, but anything that is over and above that is specifically related, there may be.
Maybe.
So everything that we're doing, this meeting and everything Victor's doing, everything's been being notated at what hour and what action, correct?
Yes.
We have to bill?
Yep.
Okay.
And finally, I just want to reiterate one more time that as of this day and time, we have 0 confirmed cases in Howell.
That's important.
It's
I know there's
extremely
always
important.
rumors going out and floating around.
yeah.
We have no confirmed cases here.
Yeah, I only see additional 2 in, today in Monmouth. So,
But
not
not
Howell.
Howell.
Not that I've been notified on, no.
No.
So I'm going to say this one more time. Social distancing, wash your hands, don't touch your face. Stay out of places that have more than 50 people, and you could pick up your food and alcohol and drive in and drive out.
Prior to 8 p.m.
Actually, now that you just did say drive-through, are we planning on doing any of that drive-through testing that I've been seeing with,
That would most likely be coordinated through the Department of Health,
okay.
our board.
But they would ask,
so far what I heard about that, is that right now I think the PNC, Art Center is going to be a drive-through.
wow,
And that's going to be done by the state police.
that's great,
That's what I've heard.
great.
And just keep checking the website. We are updating the website every time we receive updates through Victor or through Ron, and obviously through the governor.
Yeah, I think right now the update needs the new executive order. I think it needs the Wi-Fi for the students. And I guess a little recap from Vic, if he has one, that'd be great.
And obviously the lunches and for the students, it's important. I think that's really important.
I agree.
And our
And
seniors.
that they need their ID.
And that they need our ID. And obviously, we're taking care of our seniors. It's important, too.
Okay, are there any other questions? Any other?
Just thank you very much for all
Thank
your
you.
hard work.
Thank you, Victor. Stay
You
healthy,
guys are
stay
doing
well.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have to close the meeting?
I want to say,
Make a-
gentlemen, thank you both as well. You've really been on it, and I appreciate it. Thank you for the
me too.
updates, consistent. Thank you.
Do I have to make a motion to close the meeting?
Yes, please.
I'd like to make a motion to close this meeting.
I'll second.
Mr. Panovich?
Yes.
Ms. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes, ma'am.